My name is Kate. I'm Kate Vernon, Executive Director at Community Business. And so on behalf of the team, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this information webinar, where we're going to be telling you about the 2022 Community Business Awards. So since 2015, we have been running our Hong Kong LGBT+ Inclusion Awards. And these have been really highly prized, and they become regarded as the gay Oscars for Hong Kong. So really popular. In India, we've had a broader focus. We've been running our D&I in India Best Practice Awards, and we've been running those since 2017. And most recently, we introduced our Regional Asia Employee Wellbeing Awards with 4 categories. And so what we're doing now is we're bringing all those award categories together under the banner of the 2022 Community Business Awards. And what we're trying to do is position them as the most valued, credible and rigorous awards celebrating responsible and inclusive business practices in Asia. So by bringing all the award categories together, what that means is that there are actually multiple award categories for you to choose from and showcase your leadership, and multiple opportunities to elevate and showcase your brand in all aspects of responsible and inclusive business, from building responsible leadership, tackling workplace inequality, ensuring employee well-being and promoting social inclusion. And this applies to wherever you operate in Asia. So what we've tried to do with the color coding on this slide is just show you the kind of different groupings of awards, because we've tried to keep some of the most popular awards that we've had, so that you can continue to participate in those. So the top 5 in blue are our kind of broad responsible and inclusive business practice awards, which may cover any aspect of responsible and inclusive business. So for instance, number 2, Employee Network in Asia Award, maybe an employee network in any aspect, whether it's diversity and inclusion or employee well-being, or it might even be philanthropy or volunteering. So any aspect of employee network. Numbers 6 to 9, which are highlighted in green, are the categories that we've had for our Wellbeing Awards. We had those this year, so we're continuing those in 2022. And then the final 4 at the bottom are the LGBT Inclusion Awards that we have. Some of those are consistent, but we've introduced a new one around transgender inclusion. In addition to the Asia-focused ones, we are maintaining 4 India-specific awards. The awards have become a flagship event in India, and so we wanted, certainly in this first year, to maintain that momentum and to give the opportunity for companies in India to put forward for the traditional award categories that they've done in the past. So you'll see that we have Advancing Women, Disability Confidence, LGBT+ Inclusion, and D&I Champion of Change in India Award. So as a not-for-profit, the reason we run these awards is all about putting the spotlight on and celebrating best practice. And so it's not just about getting you to nominate and keeping that information for ourselves. We look for opportunities to showcase and advance best practice by sharing what the good practice that we find. So we do this in a number of ways. We have our D&I in India Best Practice Conference, something that we've done in the past. We have our virtual awards ceremony, which is where we announce the winners. And for the first time, we're really going to be releasing an e-publication that will feature stories from the finalists. And this is an opportunity to learn from the best practices of the finalists of the India Awards. It will be a virtual conference, a half-day virtual conference, taking place on Wednesday, the 26th of May. And in addition to a keynote speaker, it will feature breakout sessions with the finalists of each of the award categories. And so this actually happens the day before the virtual award ceremonies. So at this point, finalists will not know whether they are the winner or not. The virtual award ceremony is where we actually announce the winners for the very first time. And it will be a virtual event. It will be on the Thursday, the 26th of May. And again, we try and make this as fun as possible and quite glitzy. We've got some experience of doing this for our previous award campaigns. And we'll have entertainment, we'll have the announcement of the award winners and a keynote speaker. And then the third thing that I mentioned was the e-publication. And this is going to be released shortly after the virtual awards ceremony. And we're looking to really develop this as premium content that will feature case studies from all the winners and finalists, so that it's a reference document. It's something that companies can look at for inspiration, and we can reference when we're working with companies and advising them on how to develop their strategies moving forward. So the first thing to say is that we are inviting nominations from across Asia. And that means nominations can come from anywhere in the Asia region, except Australia or New Zealand. So we don't include them in Asia, but any other market in Asia. And if you've worked with community business before, you'll know that's a little bit different from the way we positioned it in the past. So in the past, we've tended to highlight 6 priority markets, but we're broadening that and saying actually any market in Asia where you operate, if you think you've got some great best practice that you'd like to put forward for these awards, we'd love to see that. And your nomination may be one market, a single market focus, or it may be something that you're doing in more than one market, several markets or multiple markets. So that's what we mean by the Asia Awards. For the India Awards, those are specifically for companies that are operating in India. So only those that are doing initiatives in India are eligible for those. But if you are in India and you've got an initiative that you think is particularly pioneering, you can nominate for the Pioneering in Asia Award. So the India companies can nominate for any of the awards because it will be a single market focus. So as I said, this call is all about trying to encourage you to nominate. So some of the reasons why we hope you might nominate is it's an opportunity to showcase your leadership and celebrate the success internally and externally. Many people have found that by participating in the awards, it's an opportunity to engage your leaders and your teams across the region, and obviously receive external recognition for the great work that you're doing. It's a fantastic opportunity to elevate the profile of your brand. And also, ultimately, it's about helping to drive progress and advancing responsible and inclusive business practices. Again, what we've tried to do in transitioning to this new approach is that we've maintained the timeline and the steps in the process. So if you have participated in our awards in the past, you'll be very, very familiar. We haven't changed anything in that process. So we are looking to open for nominations next week from the 1st of November. We will be open for nominations right through until the end of January. And that's actually a Monday, the 31st of January, and it's the day before Lunar New Year. So there is a very rigorous assessment process. So first of all award nominations are reviewed by the community business team, and we shortlist to identify 3, sometimes 4, but mainly 3 finalists in each category. We would then notify you that you're a finalist, and then to ensure credibility and objectivity in the next stage, you're invited as a finalist to present to a judging panel. And the judging panel comprises 2 senior people from community business, and then we always have at least 1 external expert. Sometimes we have 2. So where the award is sponsored, we would have a senior executive from the award sponsor, but we will always have a subject matter expert on that judging panel. And the judging panels will be conducted in April, and they will be conducted virtually via Zoom. And we will try to give you the date of the judging panel when we notify you that you're a finalist, so that you've got plenty of time and you can mark your calendars and you can get the right people lined up. We will also invite you as a finalist to take part in a 1-hour telephone interview, because if you remember, we're looking to have a write-up for a case study in our e-publication. We will try and get as much of that information from your nomination, but there may be gaps in what we've gotten to put that together. So we will likely schedule a 1-hour telephone interview to fill in any gaps around that case study. And just to reassure you, we'll always have the opportunity to review the case study before it's published. And what we've got here is a series of tables that talk about the description and the eligibility. Moving more specifically onto the assessment criteria, and we'll talk a little bit about that. And again, to highlight that if you've participated before, these assessment criteria are exactly the same. We found them to be really enduring, really comprehensive, so we're not changing that, and we want to make this process as familiar to you as possible. So we really look for 4 things: that your nomination is strategic, proactive, making an impact, and that it's sustainable, so that you've got a plan moving forward. It will say, we are looking to see that your approach was strategic, and that, i.e., that you've got clearly defined business case, statement of commitment, and a set of objectives. Okay, so moving on to proactive, again, you'll see a description that says, we're looking to see that your approach was proactive, i.e., that you had a comprehensive and targeted program of activities to achieve your goals. And again, we give you some guidance around, what were key components of your program? Who did you partner with internally, externally? How did you actually roll out your program? So as far as possible, we're looking for positive and measurable impact that you can state. Some of that will be quantitative, some of that will be qualitative. So anything that you can give us, we know sometimes that can be really difficult, but even kind of mapping back to your objectives, to what extent did you meet your objectives, what did you actually do in terms of output, what were the activities, but also what has been the impact. And then the last piece is the sustainable piece, and we want to really know that this isn't just a one-off or a short-term initiative, that there is a long-term vision and a plan moving forward. And so you'll be invited to share what's your vision and strategy, how will you maintain and develop or enhance the program or extend the program moving forward, and who will have the responsibility for driving it in the future. So a reminder, you may submit as many nominations as you like. You can do multiple nominations for the same award if you've got a number of initiatives that you want to put forward, or you can nominate for lots of different awards. Obviously, we want you to complete all the questions. If you don't give us the information, then we don't have anything to assess you on. Provide relevant supporting information to validate your nomination. So there's an opportunity for you to upload information. It might be something that's been covered in the media, or it might be a presentation to support what you're talking about. There is the file size limit, so you just need to look at that. I think it's 5 megabytes for how much you can load up, and you'll be given that opportunity at the end of the nomination form. Have a think about which award categories you think you might want to nominate for. Go and look at the descriptions and the eligibility. If you've got any questions at all, you can come back to Eliana or me.